My name's Caitlin. I'm representing Theta Tau tonight. Theta Tau is a professional co-ed engineering fraternity, and we're open to all engineering majors. And Theta Tau is really, as well as being a social and professional organization, we give our members opportunities for networking and just like a family on campus.
Awesome, thank you guys. I think we're going to try to take a look at each one of the videos that the organization's put together. We'll go ahead and turn it over to Anthony and see if we can't play each one of those videos. They may be muted. We've been trying to work on that, but we'll see. Or we'll see a million videos play at the same time. That works too. I think we may go ahead and run into some more of the Q&A portion while we're trying to get the rest of the videos loaded here. One thing that I'm sure that's on everybody's mind here as an attendee kind of has to do with the impact that your organization has on their college experience. In your guys' opinions as representatives, what do you think your organization brings to the table in terms of the college experience? Like how has your organization impacted your experience here in college? Michael, if you'd like to start us off.
Sure. Well, so Sigma Gamma Tau, there's lots of opportunities for you to connect with graduates. I know that one of our previous members, she's a employee at SpaceX right now, and she's offered any of our members to refer any of our members for SpaceX, and so that basically brings that person's resume all the way to the top of the list for SpaceX, and they'll look at it first and they'll consider that candidate first. So there's that after college opportunity for networking, and then also it's just been wonderful connecting with lots of other driven aerospace engineers who are working hard in the classroom with you, and then you can also go out and do fun outreach events like helping out at elementary schools, launching rockets, or at E-Days. And so it's just been an overall fun experience, and then also it's great for my resume, and then gives me some opportunities after college as well.
I guess I'll go next if that's all right. So Theta Tau has been super, super awesome for my personal college experience. Kind of similar to what Michael was talking about, we also have a lot of job opportunities that come up and a lot of professional development opportunities. We have a huge network of hundreds of alumni across the country that can give you a little bit of a competitive edge. I actually just got a full-time job, and one of the people who had interviewed me was an alumni of Theta Tau, so I really think that definitely helped me land that, so that was pretty cool. We also have professional development workshops, so that's things like interviewing skills or resume workshops, and then just like engineering skill building workshops, things that the ITLO offers, and other stuff that we are just personally interested in. We also have people from industry come in and talk to us about their experiences and how everything has gone on there and just giving us advice. But in addition to the professional aspect of Theta Tau, there's also a really awesome social aspect of it that's benefited me a lot. I personally had a hard time finding a good group of engineering friends, especially female engineering friends, and Theta Tau really helped me find that. So that's everything from like study groups to just class advice that's happened, which is just great. And then also just the family you get. Like I have my big and my littles, and I hang out with my littles all the time. So yeah, it's a really great family environment. It's really enriched pretty much every aspect of my college experience, and if nothing else, has definitely made sure I got a lot better grades. So yeah.
Yeah, so CU Gaming has impacted my college experience hugely. It's given me a community that I can be together with. There is 2,000 plus members on the Discord, and I can find a team to play with for anything I want to. It's also given me the opportunity. I've traveled to 3 different DreamHack conventions, which are the largest conventions in the nation for gaming and esports, and worked those 3 conventions. I am a site ops team lead for them, and they luckily trusted me with my own team. And so it's helping me further my career by leaps and bounds.
Awesome. So I think the first question that was asked by a student was, what are the monthly costs for Theta Tau? If the other organizations want to go ahead and talk about kind of what their membership requirements are as well, that would definitely be good. But Caitlin, if you'd like to start us off talking about Theta Tau.
Yeah, so the dues for Theta Tau, we go by semester. It's $235 a semester, which I realize sounds like quite a bit of money. Most of our fraternity is on payment plans, so that's paying just like a few bucks a month to get up to that 235. Yeah, and then like there's some scholarship opportunities within the fraternity also for people who are in financial need.
Yeah, I'll talk about requirements for Sigma Gamma Tau. So since we are an honors society, membership is by invitation only. You have to be in the top portion of your class to be invited for Sigma Gamma Tau. And then there's a one-time $20 initiation fee, and then there's no fees after that. But the big requirement is that, yeah, you have to be in the top portion of your class, and you have to have those good grades. And you have to be an aerospace engineer, of course.
I also forgot to mention that your first semester as a pledge, it's only $50. So if you decide that you hate it, you can leave, but that's never happened before as far as I'm aware, so.
As in regards to CU Gaming, we do not charge our members dues, and we've set the entry bar as low as possible because we are trying to be as inclusive as a community as possible. All you have to do is join our Discord and you're in.
Awesome. So going to the next one, and this is also going to be applicable to other organizations as well. The question revolved around Theta Tau's COVID response and how you guys plan to deal with the upcoming couple of semesters with the virus. What are each one of the organizations doing to kind of address this, and how is this really impacting how you guys are going to work this semester? Caitlin, since I kind of started the organization again, if you want to go ahead and give her another shot.
Yeah, sure. So when COVID happened, we got a little bit of a scramble, as I'm sure everyone did at the beginning. But what we've done at this point is all of our chapter meetings are conducted over Zoom at this point, and we have organized some socially distant outdoor events for brotherhood opportunities. And then we're also really trying to use this to our advantage to have professionals come in and talk to us that wouldn't otherwise be able to. We have a couple connections, people have come in and Zoom and just chat with our chapter, which wouldn't be able to happen if COVID hadn't become a thing. And so we're doing is that we have a facility where if you use the entire number dues or refunding the ordinary dues hasn't used this for that semester, so I don't have money that we're not using opportunity to benefit. So those are really the main things that we've done. We try to bring the majority of our things to online, and then also with dues. Oh, and we've started a little bit of a program where we're trying to fund members who maybe live together. We have a lot of members who are roommates actually, to go on like little outdoor adventures or little excursions. Like we were funding some ski trips and some stuff like that for members as like bonding brotherhood experiences.
Nick, if you'd like to talk about how CU Gaming is responding to the virus as well.
Yeah, CU Gaming has, I guess the community base is taking it more as a meme than anything. As gamers, we tend to stay inside. We tend to stay at our desks. We tend to be in our chairs a lot. So in the long and short of things, it hasn't really messed up anything outside of my line of work, which is in-person events. It has completely destroyed that. Last year, we held Press Start in the Rec Center, had over 700 attendees. You know, we try to do that every year, and this year it is, well, not happening, obviously. So we are working on making our events entirely virtual. And as far as things have been going, we've been doing pretty well. Our Twitch streams are running. We're getting decent viewership for what we're doing. And we're still working with other campus entities like CSI to put on these virtual events.
All right, and I'll talk about what SGG is kind of doing. Unfortunately, a lot of our events are in person, and so until guidelines allow us to do more of these in-person events, we're having to cancel most of, or at least push back a lot of our in-person events. We're still having meetings over Zoom, and we'll still be doing Nation this fall. It'll be online. But yeah, unfortunately, we've been forced to move or cancel a lot of our events.
All right. So another question that a lot of attendees are definitely going to be asking themselves is, in what different ways would a student get involved with the organization? So what is either the process or the activities that they can do with your organization, as well as kind of the better question, like, why should students get involved with the organization? Some of you guys have touched on this already. But yeah, just going about, you know, what is so exciting? How do they get involved, and what can they do with your guys' organizations? If Nick wants to start us off on that one.
Yeah, so students can get involved by participating in any of the live events that we were running. So next Friday, we are running our community esports tournament. So people can come and play Fortnite, Valorant, and Rocket League in a more competitive setting than they usually would. And we hope to have pricing available, subject to how budgets look. So outside of that, there are other kind of competitions and community activities. We do movie watch nights, game nights where we play Among Us, a very popular party game, Jackbox, and various other things like that. For us, involvement is completely voluntary and up to the attendee.
I'll talk about Sigma Gamma Tau. So again, like I said, to join the club, you must be invited. But there's plenty of opportunities for non-members and even non-aerospace engineers to get involved. We hold, during E-Days, we hold an event where you can make your own model rocket and then launch it yourself. We also sell Valentine's for Nerds to raise money for charitable causes. We sell t-shirts like the one I'm wearing that are aerospace themed. So there's lots of, and we're looking to expand. Obviously, coronavirus has forced us to not look for new events as of now, but we're looking to do more events to help, more school-wide events to get more people doing fun things and hanging out with their fellow classmates and attendees of CU Boulder. And then as far as requirements for membership, once you're in, it's 6 hours of commitment every year for the entire school year, which is super easy to do. So yeah.
So in terms of Theta Tau stuff that we can do, we have a lot of different opportunities for events and ways to get involved. We have everything from philanthropy events to professional development events. I kind of touched on those a little bit earlier. We also have a lot of leadership opportunities. We have committees that we're entirely student run, obviously. So all the events that we do put on are also student run. So you have an opportunity to get some really cool leadership experience as well. JD, was there anything else that you asked us to touch on? Sorry, I kind of spaced on the question, honestly.
No, I think it was pretty much talking about how can students get involved, why should they get involved, and kind of the experiences that they would have when they join your organization.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like I've pretty much touched on that. Cool. Thanks.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and throw, now that we have it, the image on the screen is the QR code that you guys can use to get more information about each one of these organizations, as well as the list of the organizations themselves. The next question that we kind of have rolling in that's definitely critical to everyone is going to be, what are some of the networking and professional development opportunities that each club has to offer? What are the corporations that you're working with? Are there any internships involved? That kind of stuff. Michael, your turn to go first.
Yeah, so like I said at the beginning, we connect with our alumni, and there's chances like the example I used before, where we've got a former member who now works at SpaceX, and as an employee at SpaceX, they can give us a reference and bump us up any of our resumes up to the top of the pile, basically, so that SpaceX looks at that resume first and gives you a higher chance. What was the and then networking opportunities? You get to know lots of other driven, motivated aerospace engineers at CU, and then also some of the professors, get to know them better and get some opportunities with research there and letters of recommendation.
Yeah, so I'll go next if that's all right. For Theta Tau, we have 1,000,001, it feels like, networking and professional development opportunities. On the networking side of that, as I mentioned earlier, we have a really wide alumni network, which is super great. We have hundreds of alumni, thousands from the different chapters across the country. Theta Tau is not just at CU, which is super great. So not only are you able to network with CU alums, but you're also able to network with people from other schools when we go to events like regionals and even nationals, where you're able to interact with other chapters face-to-face. Those kind of events are online for now, unfortunately, but we're still able to network and stuff. In terms of like professional development opportunities, we get emails a couple times a week from different alumni across the country, different chapters, who are saying, hey, just a heads up, this alumni was telling us that they have this job opening here in Denver, like if you guys are interested. We've gotten 3 different alumni who have reached out to us just this past week saying they have job openings, everything from SNC to Sierra Nevada Corporation, which is an aerospace company, to construction firms, to environmental engineering firms. So that's super cool. We have a direct line where people are literally just asking to hire us, which is just awesome. And other professional development opportunities are things like resume workshops that we put on, talks where people from industry come in and give us advice or just like tell stories, answer questions that you might have. And we're also in the process of setting up a mentoring program right now where you're paired up with an alumni and you get to have a one-on-one relationship with them and talk to them about their kind of experiences in the professional world and what it really takes to make it as an engineer.
Yeah, so CU Gaming, we try to offer quite a few professional career development opportunities because that is one of our mission statements. Last year, we invited out Shiver Gaming to talk. She is a very, very famous host and panelist and caster for the Dota 2 scene. And she gave a talk about women in gaming, basically, how to get into it. This year, we're in talks with people like Pyrotechnics, if you know them, Frost Curran, Shocks in the League of Legends scene, and other people from around the industry. So we do try to provide these opportunities and a wide plethora of them. We also try to hook students up with internships. We have connections with Evil Geniuses, the very big esports organization. We have a couple of people with WD Black, a couple of people with Dell. And so we basically use our connections to try to fit people where they most want to go and try to give them avenues to use their career major in the esports and gaming industries.
Awesome. A reminder for some of the more specific questions that are really relegated right towards one particular organization. If we didn't get to that question live, it may be because the panelists typed the answer in. So if you looked at the answered section, you may be able to see their specific answers, whether it's CU Gaming's Discord chat or anything regarding Theta Tau or any of the other organizations. So if you aren't hearing the answer from their mouths, they may have typed it in the chat as well. But go ahead and keep answering the Q&A or asking the Q&A questions. The next question it kind of revolves around national or international affiliations. So if a student joins these organizations, do you guys have any contacts kind of with either other chapters around the country? Do you have any international counterparts that you guys work with at all? What kind of exposure would they get on either the national or international front should they decide to join the organization? Keelan, I think it's your turn to go first.
All right, so Theta Tau is a national organization and we are a national fraternity. Use the word loosely because it's co-ed, and we regularly interact with other chapters all over the country. We have, I think it's 7 other chapters that are in our region that we interact with very closely, and then we also have opportunities to talk to chapters from all over the country, and it's just really cool to develop these relationships that we have with all the people all across the U.S.
Yeah, so CU Gaming, if you're a general member, you generally don't really have access to our international and national connections. It kind of depends on what context you're talking about. Our esports team compete nationally. They win nationally. I think 2 years ago, our Hearthstone team won the tournament, the TESPA championships, and got something in like $12,000 in scholarship money. Outside of that, we do work with companies that are international. Red Bull is international. We've worked with them multiple times. Dell and Intel are also international.
As for SGT, we are an international society, well, national society. We started out east, but we haven't really been connecting with our other counterparts at other schools. So yeah, right now we're kind of just a CU Boulder wide, at least our chapter is just focused on CU Boulder. We are kind of small, and so we're trying to grow first before we get more of these national connections.
JD, you're muted.
I definitely am. Thank you. Right. So one of the really highly, oh, nope, that got answered. Never mind. Okay, another really highly asked question is always going to be, what are the specific companies that you guys work with from a development perspective, if applicable? So are there any names that a student might get to either hear talk from or work with as part of your organization? Yeah, who do you work with, I guess, is the best way to answer that question. I believe it's Nick's turn to start.
Yeah, it really depends on the event. So currently, behind the scenes for one of my events that I'm planning, we are trying to negotiate a contract with the CEO of Evil Geniuses. As said previously, they are an international esports organization who frequently go out and win competitions. So trying to, I guess, list or name any organizations and companies that we work with is, well, it's a very long list. I guess if it would help narrow down which kind of sector you're looking for a connection in.
That'd probably be helpful. I mean, if you just want to list off some names that you guys have definitely worked for in the past, that's always going to be a huge help.
Yeah, so Razer, Corsair, Tespa, Uconnect, Cloud9, Fnatic, Red Bull, Discord, and Twitch are some of the biggest ones. I believe we've also worked with New Age Beverages, and if you are at all on campus, you'll see Jingti everywhere. We've worked with them a little bit. We've worked with Yerba Mate, and we've worked with a monster spin-off called Rain. So those are a few of the companies that we've worked with in previous.
We've got alumni in companies like SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, JPL, thinking Lockheed. And so we've been working to contact those alumni and get them to come and chat with our current members and to get more networking opportunities there.
Yeah, so Theta Tau, we work with, we have connections, I guess, with a huge array of companies. We don't work specifically with a large amount of them, but we will occasionally have people come in and give talks. I am an aerospace student, so I'm more adept to remember the aerospace ones, but I'll try to list off a few of them. I know like Sierra Nevada Corporation and Northrop Grumman, LASP, Digital Global, Google. We have some alumni out there, Brinkman, some construction firms that are in Denver. I'm really bad at remembering names, so that's all I can tell you off the top of my head. But, NASA, yeah, just a huge host of both large and small companies. So.
And bouncing off of Michael's mention of alumni, one of the questions coming in is, do you guys have any really well-known alumni or club members that either went on to succeed in your industry or your field? Is there anybody that you guys would know of that either came from your organization or that you've worked with who people would know? Michael, I believe it is your turn to answer that question, although you may have already answered it.
I have not. Just off the top of my head, that's a good question. I'm not aware of any high profile SGT alumni. I mean,
it doesn't have to be as high tier as Elon Musk. Not every organization is going to have an Elon Musk.
I know. Well, yeah. I am not sure. I don't know. I need to brush up on my club history, I guess. Yeah, I mean, everyone that's in SGT is highly driven, highly motivated, and end up being successful, at least from the ones that I've heard talk of from older members of the club and just knowing members of the club. But yeah, I don't know any high profile names, so.
Yeah, I can speak to it. I don't know too many of them, but I know that we have a few. Again, I'm an Aero student, so I know like John Engel, who was commander of the Space Shuttle Discovery, Lloyd Russ, one of the presidents of General Motors. We've had a couple Congress people. I'm trying to think. Oh, geez. That's such a hard question. Nobody asks us that very often. Yeah, I know we've had some really cool ones, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we have a few notable alumni from our club. So the first one being Travis Ronalund. He is currently the director of esports at Red Bull. He basically controls their entire esports, I guess, operations. That means they're securing sponsorships with teams like OG, two-time TI winners, and also organizing their own kind of tournaments for themselves. We have Soligo, who is a League of Legends player who recently graduated, or I guess left, and he's playing on 100 Thieves currently for the LCS Academy team. And he is doing quite well, might I say. I think he won the last split that they did. And finally, we have, there's two more actually. We have Pyrotechnics, which is a well-known caster commentator in the esports scene who has over 100,000 followers on Twitter. And lastly, we have Jacob Canner, who graduated CU with a degree in psychology and neuroscience, and currently runs the event content creation for the International, which means he runs the content creation for a show with a $40 million prize pool and over 1 million viewers on average.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's a really hard question. Nick nailed it, but I couldn't tell you any UCEC alumni that would be incredibly well known.
Yeah, Nick, how do you know all of those? Just like off the top of your head, that's wild.
I know a lot of our organization from the inside out. I think our organization is about 4 or 5 years old at this point, and I was one of the earliest founders of the club.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
He also had the most time to prepare in his
That's fair also, yeah.
In your guys' defense. Moving kind of back towards the members' perspective, a great question that's always asked is, how intensive is your organization? So say that a member does join it. A lot of clubs and organizations have either a minimum number of events that you have to attend, like some require you to mentor a student. How intensive, how often would they be required to participate to be considered like an active member or something? Caitlin, I think you're going first on this one.
Awesome. So Theta Tau, I personally think is pretty chill. We ask that our members come to chapter, which is once a week on Monday nights at 8 p.m. And that's like about a 30-minute meeting usually. Now we're doing it on Zoom, so it's even easier. You can come in your PJs. That's really all that we ask of our members. If you can attend other events, if you can attend professional development events, you can attend things like formal, some of our philanthropy events, some of our Habitat for Humanity events, things like that. We love that. If you want to have a little, we love that as well. But it's really the kind of place where you get in what you put out. You don't have to be there all the time to have a great time, to make friends, but the more that you're there, the more people you'll meet and the more fun you'll have.
Yeah, as stated with CU Gaming, you join the Discord, you're part of our community, and interaction is entirely up to you. So you can choose to be a lurker and never interact with our community, or you can be highly active, posting 20, 30 messages a day on our Discord. You don't have to participate in our events, but we try to make sure that they are fun for you. They provide something for you. So it is highly encouraged that you do.
And then for SGT, we just have 6 hours of participation, helping run our events every year. And that's for the entire academic school year. It's nice and lax requirement. And it it's not too hard to, with all the events we run, it's not too hard to meet.
Awesome. All the attendees are still, welcome and open to asking questions. I think we still have about 15 minutes here, and we've answered every question thrown our way so far. One question that is always, welcome to be asked is, what do your guys' organizations do to kind of foster an inclusive community? Is there anything that you guys go out of your way to do, or by the nature of your organization or how you guys operate? How do you build that inclusive community here on campus? Believe it's Nick's shot at first.
Yeah, so with our organization, the nature of it is through Discord. It is an entirely online-based community. Nobody knows what each other's faces look like. Nobody cares what each other's faces look like. So fostering that inclusive community is fairly easy for us to do, just because that's where we base our community out of. When we do hold events, people meet up and they're like, oh, I never met you before except for on Discord. I didn't know what you looked like. Then they get together, they have a good time like they would have on Discord, and they become friends. It just naturally occurs for us. We don't have to push anything.
So Sigma Gamma Tau, I mean, we're a co-ed society. Anyone who meets the requirements is welcome to join. And then all of our events, anyone can come and do. I mean, we try and make them as accessible as possible to everyone in CU Boulder community, like our rocket launch, like our t-shirts. Anyone can do those, and we just try and help foster that inclusiveness by giving everyone the chance to participate in our events.
In terms of Theta Tau, we are really trying to make an effort to continue to diversify in light of the social justice movements that are going on right now. We have made an active choice to start some diversity and inclusion workshops, including asking people who are in minority groups who are in industry to come in and give talks about their experiences as minorities, and having like sensitivity training and stuff like that for our members, so that we know how to act professionally and how to stand up to people who do not act professionally in an engineering environment. And also just in life. We're also co-ed, and at the end of the day, when you come to our events, when you come to chapter, when you're hanging out with your brothers, like, that's just what you are. A brother is a brother, and we try to support each other and back each other up no matter what.
Cool. Taking a look at kind of the structure of your guys' organizations, when this doesn't necessarily have to do with when a person joins the organization for the first time, but what are the opportunities for growth inside your organization? So if a student joins the organization, in the second or third year that they're a part of it, what opportunities can they look towards? It's kind of speaking more towards your organizational structure of your club. I believe Michael's on the go for this one.
Yeah, so it's, since we're a quite small club, it's pretty easy to get into a position where you have responsibilities, and it doesn't take you that long to get into them, as long as you're an active member and you're interested and motivated to put in the time and the effort. We give lots of opportunities for you to I guess, go up the ladder of our structure. Like I'm a junior and I'm already the president of our club. And we have lots of members that graduate every year. That opens up more positions that you can join. So it's pretty easy to get a higher position at Sigma Gamma Tau.
Yeah, likewise, Theta Tau has a lot of opportunities for growth. I personally joined my sophomore year, and I'm a grad student now, so I've been a part of the organization. This is going to be my 4th year as a member. I've held various positions. My 2nd semester in the organization, I became the head of recruitment. So it's really, again, like however much you want to put in is how much you get out. If you have that drive and if you want to hold a leadership position, there are so many available to you from our executive board, so like our president, vice president, treasurer, those kind of positions, to committee heads. Those are things such as the head of philanthropy, the head of special events, of professional development, those sorts of things, social media, PR and marketing. We have a lot of different opportunities for people to get involved, and pretty much every aspect of the business of our club, I guess, would be a way to say that. And various levels of responsibility that go with that. Everything from just being the head of a subcommittee, where you're in charge of organizing a couple of events a semester, maybe even just one, all the way up to being our president, where you're end all be all, I guess.
Yeah, for CU Gaming, we have 8 open staff teams. We're always accepting applications. We do go through, a short review process and interview process. But we have teams that go from administration, which handle finance, community, which handle the moderation of our massive community, media, doing things like video production, art, graphics production, esports, which is handling and managing our esports teams, which are very numerous. I think we have over 30 teams at this point. Events team, pretty self-explanatory. Marketing and partnerships, and anyone can apply for anything. We talk with you, we figure out where we think you'll fit best, where you want to be, where you want to grow, and we give you those opportunities to work on various projects. Like I believe our marketing director, our Twitter went from maybe 10, 20, 30 followers, and when he took the helm, he boosted it up over 200% and now has an internship doing social media for a professional company.
Awesome. So we're kind of nearing the end of our time here for the webinar. I'm going to open it up to each one of the organizations to kind of fill in any gaps that we didn't already cover that they wanted to have covered. If there was any additional information that they wanted to give out to members. And during that time, if any of the remaining attendees would want to post a question, we'll answer those right after that, and then we'll wrap up the webinar about 7. So Caitlin, is there anything else that you would like the attendees to know about Theta Tau?
Oh, there's like so many things I gotta think. I guess my main thing that I would want everybody to know, I don't know if I've like hammered it home enough, but we are a professional organization, but at the end of the day, we're also really a family. So when you join Theta Tau, yes, you get like a lot of professional benefits, but you also get a support group, people to lean on, people to do homework with, someone to call when you're just having a bad day, someone to hang out with on a Friday night, someone who's willing to wake up with you at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym. Whatever it is that you want to do, like there is somebody in Theta Tau that wants to do it with you, and not only wants to, but is super enthusiastic about it and is ready to just like go at it and support you wholeheartedly. I know like Theta Tau's really changed my college experience, and I would love for all of y'all to feel that love and understand how great of an organization it is. If you guys have any additional questions, you can follow us on Instagram, DM us at Boulder Eta Gamma, or at Boulder Theta Tau. Yeah, at Boulder Theta Tau. Or you can email us at regent.color.eta. I just forgot how to speak apparently. regent@etagamma.org. And I'll drop those in the chat so you guys can hit us up anytime. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. There are no dumb questions here. And we're happy to talk to all y'all.
Yeah, so for CU Gaming, it's really, we want to include you in our community. That is one of our main goals. We want you to find a place where you're at home, where you're able to play video games on campus with other people from campus. And if you want to take that further, we want to provide the resources for you to be able to do so, for you to be able to grow your career, for you to be able to compete on a nationwide scale, for you to develop your own skills. So I guess the only thing that's left to say is join our Discord, become a part of our community.
One thing that I realized I forgot to mention is that Sigma Gamma Tau, we do offer free tutoring for lots, I think, basically all of the undergraduate aerospace engineering classes, as well as some prerequisites. And so if you want to get that free tutoring, or if you just have more questions, our email is sgtmail@colorado.edu. I'll throw that in the chat so you don't need to write that down. But yeah, if you do get the invite, we'd love for you to join. But otherwise, look out for our events. We got plenty that go on. Just keep your eye out for them.
Awesome. So I would like to take a moment and thank all of the panelists again for coming out and talking about their organizations. All of the attendees for coming out and listening. Oh, okay, there was briefly a hand raised. I don't actually know what that would mean for this webinar. If there are any last minute questions that want to be answered before we head out, go ahead and post them now. But otherwise, thank you to all the panelists once again, all of the attendees that have come out and listened to everyone's information about the organization. There's about 1 million different ways that you guys can go about getting more information for each individual club. If you can manage to scan the jumbled mess that is the QR code on that screen, you can sign up to get more information for each of the clubs there. Otherwise, many of the organizations posted either Discord links, emails, or additional information and methodology that attendees can use to get in touch. As always, thanks again. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. And since we're approaching Friday, have a fantastic weekend once we get there. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night.